Does this thing where it's called a sportsman license, so it includes deer, bear, turkey, all your fishing except saltwater fish, and all of your migratory birds for 65 bucks.
What about non-migratory African swallows?
I gotta get an
He goes
additional
cross-eyed.
license for those.
Immediately dies.
Exactly.
Again, African swallows are non-migratory.
Oh my god, what? I gotta upgrade to now I see what, 71 bucks.
Alright, who are we waiting for here? Who are we waiting for?
Wraith and Alcor.
Okay. Wraith, I know it's gonna be a couple minutes late. He said his computer's updating.
And Alcor.
Well, I'm gonna get you guys in the mood here. They're gonna miss the cool intro.
Aww.
From where we left off last. You guys were you were amidst the presence of what you surmise to be a hag. Putrid and stinking, her residence, her face pocked with warts and other disgusting pus-filled blisters. Her attitude was that of a traitor, one who would give if she would receive in return. And she offered information in some that was useful, some that was cryptic to the party before a fight broke out between the party and herself. And after a few rounds of combat, she simply vanished into the mist, like many of the putrid evil things here seem to do.
Amen to that.
Gone for good? Remains to be seen. However, at the moment, the grounds are peaceful as the party begins to explore around the mill. And I think where we left off, you guys had entered the mill, had seen a mirror on the wall, seen that everything was floating, and kind of figured the mill itself was floating, and you yourself, as you walk into the mill, begin to float. Looking around, the mill is see-through, ethereal. You can see outside, not looking through the windows, but through the walls, through the floor, through the ceiling. And perhaps from this perspective, if you look backwards, out the front door of the house, perhaps even as you take a last look at Father Albright standing in the doorway, kind of shaking his head in a reprimanding fashion, you'd see 4 obelisks of a sort stone structures that have since crumbled, but look like they were built there long ago. These obelisks, or megaliths, they were erected what looks to be centuries ago even. Perhaps by this valley's original human inhabitants, when things were still green and there was still sunshine about these lands. From there, I suppose we'll pause, we'll wait for these guys to hop in before we begin to investigate this magical, seemingly mystical windmill.
I guess Kragnar might at least look at the obelisks, and it could possibly, barely, maybe draw some tribal knowledge or know-how of some sort. He is an outlander. So Kragnar will look at them and go, wonder. He'll wonder what those are. But if nothing piques his memory, he will soon forget.
Do a history check for that, just to run through your own memory.
Ragnar not remember much. Bad construction. Got to make buildings stay up.
Yeah, you kind of scratch your head. You remember something about a story of two, ancient gods, and you heard this like maybe in a battle with a warring tribe back home. Some strange, outlandish tale of their religion about some morning lord and mother night. Can't remember the details. But you do remember that their kind would raise obelisks to their gods and pray at them.
Okay, he'll point and go, well, I'll wait for everyone to show up. I'll wait.
Yeah, I was 15 minutes late. After being 15 minutes late, so...
I'm gonna go get another slice of cookie cake, because that one slice was not enough.
Ooh, that sounds
I'll be
amazing.
right back. Yeah, it's a good choice. Yep.
I'm gonna go get me a slice of beer.
A slice of beer. That's awesome. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. Might I go get a beer myself?
Hey.
I'll be right back.
Good thing is I have a wireless mic, so I can take y'all with me. I think at this point you're the only one I'm taking with me. Dan.
Yeah, there's no one left.
Me and you versus the world.
Yeah, the 7-man party's feeling a little empty now.
No. Thank goodness.
Oh, and also, so Father Albright is staying outside?
Yep.
Okay.
The hardest beer I've ever tried to open in my life. It bent my fucking beer opener.
Sweet. Oh. Castlevania has obelisks showing on the TV right now. Castlevania Nocturna.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was good cookie cake.
Already finished the slice?
I'm going back in.
Just bring the whole thing in there with you. You know you're gonna finish it by the end of the session.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. You're a bit late, but so were we all.
Yeah, no worries. We're still waiting on one more person, I think. Just shoot him a message. We'll see if he's going to be coming within 5 minutes. If not, we'll get started.
Get started. Oh no, I left my soft baked cookies downstairs.
I just brought the whole rest of the cookie cake over.
That's literally what I just said.
That's just smart.
I said
Efficient.
just bring the whole thing because you know
Yeah.
you're gonna finish it by the end of the session anyway.
Yep. Yeah.
I have to test the limits of the range of my mic here. I gotta go get something out of my work truck.
My wife, I was at the store the other day and I bought a thing of 12 donuts. She's like,
yeah.
Why do you always get those? It's like the softies, Hostess softies, plain cake donuts.
Yep.
He's like,
yeah,
don't they go bad before you can like finish them all? And I just started laughing. I was like, that's funny. I'm gonna finish all those by tomorrow. And I think I finished them before that night was over, to be honest, because I love donuts.
Are they the miniature ones or the regular size?
I mean, I think they're pretty small, to be honest. They're not miniature, but they're like in between a normal sized donut and a donut.
So they're not the donuts.
No,
The
they're
Hostess
like
makes donuts.
they're just janky donuts. Yeah. Wraith said he's coming. He's on his way, so we'll give him a couple minutes as we discuss donuts and other delectable items.
Delectables. Oh, no, I didn't leave my soft-baked cookies downstairs. I put them on the chair behind me, and I have ADHD, so they weren't in my line of vision, and I immediately forgot about them. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do that. Gan, go ahead and check that out of game chat. Oh no, wait, hang on, don't check it yet. Check it now.
Yes. And you know what's funny is powder donuts, those ones exactly, and it is Entenmann's. It's not whatever I said.
Entenmann's. My grandfather bought Entenmann's all the time back in the East Coast.
I said Hostess, but he has the exact ones that I get, but just powdered. Those ones, though, Michael, were my favorite when I was, like, up until the point I turned about 13 or 14, and then sugar overload became a thing for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I bought these last night when I went to get dinner. I saw them on the shelf at Ingles, and I was like, I haven't had them in a while. I gotta. So I picked them up, and I only have 3 left.
Yeah.
And I
I had
opened
the
them
shot.
last night.
There was no danger. I wasn't below the hard deck for more than a couple seconds. So you bought it. I bought it. Broke a
And then
major
that
rule
same
of
night, I
engagement.
also bought a package of soft bake sugar cookies with the icing on top of them. Because
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I am a glutton.
That's another thing you kind of got to eat, or they get stale too. Yep. But most
I
people,
I
oh,
like
no, no.
them just a little bit stale, though.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm kind of because when they're fresh, they're too soft.
they are really soft. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like if you get them really fresh, though, they're like, yeah, they kind of don't stay together
Mhm.
very well.
But see, I'm kind of weird. I like my gummy bears and like gummy candy. I like
Little
that a
pipe.
little
Little pipe.
stale
Yep.
too.
Yeah, I agree. I had one of those the other day.
Are you? What are
You
you?
guys,
What are you, that chick from
had a-
Ferris Bueller, Michael?
Yeah.
She's
Yes.
like, they're warm.
what
Been
about
my,
Intimate's coffee cakes?
Oh, those are good
You're the
too.
coffee cakes? Yeah. Yeah.
Never. I honestly can't say I've ever had one of their coffee cakes. Although
Mm.
they have
they're
delicious chocolate
delicious.
cake
They're the
and
more adult
lemon
selection for the things we're
lemon cake.
talking about. You know?
I don't know if you've
I'd
ever had
say
the lemon
elder.
cake.
The lemon cake's
Yeah.
excellent.
Yes, exactly.
Anything
Elder. That's
Entenmann is gonna work
exactly
for
right.
me.
My grandmother, my grandparents were the ones like they wouldn't get donuts; they'd only get like the coffee cake. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
my grandpa gets coffee cake all the time. I've never really been a coffee fan though. I mean, even now, I still don't drink coffee as an adult.
Oh,
So
I think that's one of the common misconceptions about coffee
Yeah,
cake.
coffee cake has nothing to do with coffee.
You don't.
Nothing
You
it,
at
don't.
all.
it
You
doesn't
don't.
taste like coffee, or is it cake that
No.
goes
No,
with coffee?
No. It's just exactly. It's just a
nothing.
delicious dessert that would go well with coffee. So they call it coffee cake. But it's more like Danish. If you've ever had
Cinnamon.
a Danish,
A
Oh,
and
okay.
tasty, cakey, cinnamony thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
sometimes they
Danish is
put
what it says on the package.
sometimes they put cheese in there. Sometimes it's like more like a pastry, like something that you would give to a little kid.
Yeah,
Uh,
it says like Danish pastry on the package or something like that.
I'm just
Oh, well, I'd be
populating the
all
map
about that.
with
I
baddies
guess
right now. It's not good for you
I
guys.
oh no. It's fine. We'll kill them all. Well, they do say you learn something new every day, and I learned today that coffee cake does not taste like coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tiramisu tastes like
It
coffee though.
can. Yeah. You got. Yep, that's right. If you want coffee tastings, yes, I'll get the tiramisu instead.
Which they should call tiramisu coffee cake. to
You know
We could
what?
Michael's
start a
point.
trend where we call it coffee cake.
Yeah. Yep.
It's the
Yep.
only
You
way
know
to
what,
change the
Brady?
name, right?
You just taught me 2 things today. I didn't know tiramisu tasted like coffee.
Well, I know a
Yeah.
lot about cakes because I spent a long time tasting them one day, and I learned a lot
Okay,
about cakes that day.
that goes on your your bragging montage.
Yeah, your permanent record. You're like, I know a little bit about cakes.
We need a
Know
quote
all
board
about
for this. I
know
demand
all
a
about
Kirsten Stroud quote board.
I wish the cakes that I knew about were
baking.
Brazilian and in a bikini, but I digress.
Know all about baking. I can make you the best brownies in your life without eggs or vegetable oil.
Indeed. Oh yeah, that actually kind of makes sense. I mean, it makes sense
I
completely.
substitute them for things that you wouldn't think about either.
Um. Hmm.
Kragnar know a lot about cakes too. There should have been a pie eating contest at the fair. I guess Rocky's fair got ruined, but yeah, pie eating contest. Although that would have been bad because you know what the pies would have been. So yeah, never mind.
I think it would have quickly turned into a person eating contest with how the whole thing went down.
Yeah, person eating contest. Oh my god,
my
that's
God.
kind of a good idea, like a good dungeon master idea, and a really fucked up Ravenloft campaign is to stumble into some land where they're having a person eating contest. I may have
And
to add
like,
that to my notes.
It's
It's
fair.
just really fucked up,
The
but
fair
Some-
assessment.
kind of good. Yeah.
gets
Person eating contest.
completely-
I've seen that before in places in Barovia. Take you there
It's
sometime.
like it's just perfectly normal to them too, and you walk up and you're like, "What in the
Oh,
fuck?"
my doggy's home from the vet. Very happy about that. Hello, Marley.
Hmm.
Oh,
Inkjet
well, that's
printing.
probably TMI for the stream, but we'll save that information for personal and private affairs. Unless you guys want to know. I don't care. I'll share it with you guys.
Want to know?
My dog
I
has a
love it.
UTI. Poor doggy.
No.
Oh,
Oh, she got 4 shots today.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she's doing a lot of licking, so we were like, okay, time to take you to the vet, little buddy. She had some look like irritation.
No,
She's all better now, though.
Some
that's good.
problems. Yeah.
What's up? Oh, cool. My dogs have more healthcare appointments than I have.
Oh, man.
that's probably true.
What up, y'all?
Yeah, I was about
Hey.
to say your dog. Hello.
Welcome.
All right, we got Wraith
Your
here.
dog got more shots than my son did at the doctor on Monday.
Well, it's probably because he's on time for his shots. Marley's definitely not, but she I always tell him just to pass when I go there on doing it because I know she doesn't like doing shots. But then my wife goes and they're like, "Well, you're due for 4 shots." Like, jab her up. Oh, that's not fun. Anyway, it looks like we have a group here. So we'll go ahead and get started. To give you guys a little bit of recap, I just kind of recapped. But if you guys need a reminder on what happened in last session or 2, just let me know and I can give another quick recap. Alright, I'm going to take that as a you guys do not need a quick recap. Without further ado, the party begins to explore the second floor once more, and I'll get you guys onto the board.
I think Kragnar would stop on the way up the stairs and turn back and look at Father Albright. You coming?
I don't plan on going in there, Sonny. It is a putrid place, and I can smell it from here. I will stand watch at the door, in case the hag returns.
You man, right? You have. He makes some orcish sound, which means you have a balls, right? But he says that part in orcish.
He kind of cocks an eyebrow, and the face that he gives you, go ahead and roll an insight check.
Does he speak orcish? Does he know what I said?
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Oh, okay. All right.
Got to find out.
Hey, 19.
Yeah,
Wise guy.
you get the impression that he does, based on the look on his face, as he looks down at his own manhood, and kind of grabs a hold of his pants there. Want to come and find out, big boy?
Ragnar reaches into his pouch and finds, let me see, anything in his inventory? No, unfortunately not. It's too bad. Stay out there. You can wash Kragnar's clothes. Afterwards, talk. Which is orcish for pussy. And he'll turn around and go back up.
This one seems to escape him as he begins to make a reply, but the words just don't come out of his mouth as his mouth stands gaping open in confusion.
He shakes his head, goes upstairs. All respect points lost.
I really thought you were gonna reach into your bag and pull out the middle finger.
No. If he had extra clothes, he was going to throw them to him and tell him to wash them while he's up here doing men's work.
That 19 insight that you rolled after making that second remark, while it may have seemed like he understood Orcish after replying the way he did the first time, the second time you seem to have hit him with a word he didn't understand, so perhaps he's not as fluent.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's had lots of time, obviously, sitting in a desk reading books, not out fighting, so probably knows a lot of languages. Probably knows how to crochet.
Plus, you probably picked a common pejorative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think anyone would know what that was just from context clues.
Yeah.
I'll defend Father later with his.
I love Father Albright. Just let everyone know I love Father Albright, but Kragnar would call him out for not coming in for sure.
Oh, that's a must do. That's what I was saying. I'll defend him later with actions and perhaps some tales of his previous lives. And with that said, yeah, why do we not continue upwards? Make sure everybody's got control of their character. I think they should. 5 people on the map.
I wanted to say, Corvus is interested in the magical properties of the tower, and I wanted to ask, since we've been in the tower, I'm guessing 5-10 minutes, something like that. You mentioned earlier that there was an ethereal property to the tower itself.
Yes.
Since we've been in here, has that ethereal property appeared, or has it been here since the start?
Basically, as soon as you entered within the doorway, the threshold of the mill itself, you started to feel yourself become weightless. And as you looked around, the walls around you completely clear, almost as if they were there but not there, wanting to exist but struggling to hold their physical visage.
It's like Tailspire.
And my only other question does that effect seem to be progressing, or
like
is it
Tailspire.
does it seem
I got the description from.
Floor vanish. Move slider up.
I'm sorry, Dan. I cut you off.
Sorry. It's my fault.
That's okay. I just wanted to ask one last question. So, does this effect, it triggered when we entered, and does it seem stable, or is it progressing?
It seems stable, like it hasn't changed or progressed or intensified or dimmed since you walked in. It's just basically the same.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Corvus is paying attention to that. He's a little worried, like the tower's phasing out or whatever, and it would be very ironic if we climbed to the top of it and then it phased out and we just fell out of the missing tower.
I would like to stop going up the stairs and go back down and investigate the mirror.
Corvus is worried enough about it that he asks if anybody has a feather fall spell prepared, but the person who woulds not here. So.
Alcor would just like to investigate the second floor and again try to find any traces of the boy he's looking for his quest.
Well, from your vantage point, Aaron, you see this strange looking mirror just floating there, and unlike the one in the mansion, this one's not pegged to any wall or fastened down. It looks like it could be, moved freely.
I would like to reach out and take it off the wall. I want to see if there's anything behind it.
Well, it's floating probably about 4 inches off the wall.
No.
So you can kind of like even peek your head, and you can see that. You can see that like you could fit probably both your fists behind it, and you can see that there's nothing holding it up behind the wall. Like many of the things in the house, it simply floats, or in the mill, I should say, it simply floats.
Kind of run my hands along the frame, outside behind it, and pull it toward me.
As you draw close, you can see your hazy reflection clearly reflected in the mirror.
Does it look as though it's presenting a reflection of the room accurately?
It's hard to make that out, to be honest, because the mirror is slightly dirty around the edges. And while you can see your face clearly enough, much beyond your shoulders and neck is fogged out by that smudge of grime. Perhaps from age or just misuse.
One last question. Am I getting any sort of feeling of magic off of it?
Yes.
Can I identify this item? Use a spell.
This is a messaging mirror.
Ooh.
Connected to another exactly its like. Drawn close. Like you have it so right now. It may be used to cast messages. Back and forth. Discreetly. And without interception. From other magical means.
Well, this could definitely be useful. I would like to take the mirror and put it in my bag of holding. And I'll join everyone else upstairs. Well, up on the next story.
Everybody turn on that torch effect. That's useful.
Light your torches.
The dirt-caked windows that you see in this room allow very little light to enter from outside. Well, the little light that there is. And this 8-foot high or so chamber, most of which is taken up by a large millstone connected to a wooden gear shaft that rises through the ceiling in the center of the room. The stone staircase continues up. But behind this gigantic mill shaft and this gear that you see here, you can also see something disturbing.
Oh, whoops. I went up one level too far. Sorry. Go ahead.
Filling the shaft itself, small skeletons. They look to be all between the ages of 6 and 12.
Out of a rough estimation, how many does there seem to be? Dozens, or are we talking hundreds?
The shaft is large, and it appears to hold probably 30, maybe 40 rotting skeletal corpses. Children.
Yikes.
Angry growl.
Ooh.
Well, this is certainly disconcerting. What could these hags possibly want with the powdered bones of slain children?
You think this strange tower can burn? It needs to burn.
Aaron kind of looks around at the clear walls and us floating. I would say it probably does not burn. And Corvus,
Certainly
to
not
your
at this
point,
moment, at least.
these are probably the remains of children that ended up in their pies. And they were not thoughtful enough to bury the bodies.
If I didn't know any better, they were harvesting some sort of reagents from their bodies.
That
If
sounds.
not just bone dust, but something else. Bone meal, I believe.
Yeah, that does sound more plausible since they are witches and all.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with their magics or their rituals, but it seems likely.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible and grisly, though. These hags need to pay for this.
Anything? I know the map shows some scattered papers around. Anything of interest on if there are papers on them?
You do see what looks to be several leather-bound books stacked in the corner there. The loose papers are simply an effect of that miniature, unfortunately, but
Yep.
there is books over there. And it looks like, again, journals. When you open them, it's a single person's handwriting, and it appears to be like entries written page by page. Some of them full page, some of them, skipping several bits of the page and skipping to the next day, giving you the sense that it's some sort of a journal.
Yeah, Kragnar just looks at it and moves on. I'll search like the corners, the walls and stuff. And then I'll unroll one of these carpets and just jump out the window because it's clearly a flying carpet.
Aaron wanders over the journals, more interested. I'd like to pick one up, read, flip to the middle or to the back, whatever the latest entry.
As you read through the entry, you find a depressing tale, sadness and woe. The writer has seemingly lost their purpose. Doesn't exactly know why they're doing the things they're doing, and in no explicit detail do they describe exactly what that is, at least on that page. But you can clearly see that the writer has some sort of regret or remorse. Some great travesty that they committed, that they now must pay for. And a purpose that was once so clear to them is now lost because of this. It's a sad tale, but compelling, if nothing else. And by that I mean you can't help to kind of continue reading on that page at least, all the way through it if you pick it up.
Alcor would like to come over to the stand of weapons and, I guess, investigate the weapons, see if there's anything special or not.
Sorry to jump in, but I just want to get this out of the way now. Corvus is going to spend the next 10 minutes casting his detect magic ritual.
Good call.
Got it. And you see a kind of like a what looks to be some sort of like a metal case, or like at least a fashion to lock these weapons in place. And see, there is keys on actually both sides of the mechanism, clamping them down. But the weapons inside don't really look to be of too great a value. The sword itself has quite a bit of rust on it, as does the spear, beginning to form just right at the tip of it. And you see that the wood is as well splintered on the handle of the spear. The weapons look to be of mediocre quality at best.
Alright. I shall leave them be then.
Once Corvus completes his ritual, he's going to look over to the corner with the carpets and the chest stacked against the wall and see if anything sticks out with his magic vision. It's got carpets and chests. Should probably do a little mark thing. There we go. It's this corner.
As you move those carpets, you begin to hear a thump, 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 thump from the inside of both of those cases that you see there. Just for
Good job.
vision's sake, I'm going to go ahead and just kill these carpets that you kind of brushed to the side.
Thank you.
A few more skeletons roll out of the rolled up carpets as you kind of unfurl them, revealing bodies that have since literally rotted into skeletons inside of these carpets even. And inside this mill. No air conditioning in here, so it makes sense, I suppose. But these crates, however, are about 4 feet wide each. Well, actually, we'll say about 5 feet wide each. And you can hear this thumping as though something inside is desperately trying to get out. But there is no other noise besides that, leaving you to wonder what it is that's making that noise.
Interesting. Did you say it was coming from more than one box, or can Corvus seek the source to one of the boxes?
I would say you can hear that it's coming from both boxes.
Intrigued, Corvus turns around and requests some help from someone else nearby to help with these boxes.
Reminds me of Neo.
Ragnar,
Matrix.
Ragnar, he will eagerly pull out his barely, if ever used, crowbar and eagerly come over, barely able to contain his excitement.
Corvus kind of just looks at you, shrugs, and gives you a kind of a have at it expression, emote, and he steps back.
He pulls out the crowbar, admires it for a second, just pauses, just soak this all in. It's like, this is really happening. This is happening.
Enjoy the moment.
Yep. And he takes it, jams it in the side, and just gives it a big pull back to try to bust open one of the latches or locks or whatever.
Give me that brute force strength check.
Athletics?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. Oh, not good. Only a 15.
Since I'm with you, I'll be giving you guidance on that as well.
Okay.
I'm right next to you. I'm within touch and range. That's the kind of the restriction.
All right.
Only-
That's 17 then.
Only in my head, though, because I imagine Ragnar has like a sweatband on his head while he does this. It's like, alright, good.
You forgot to tighten it.
First. Alright, let's see here. Let me flip back over to Discord real quick.
I can give you a D4. The other two.
What we're talking
17 is
about.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
It's fair. Kragnar's pretty embarrassed by it, but...
What's 17?
Yeah, you
What is this garbage?
You smash open the lock, like you don't like really affect the lock at all, but you splinter the mechanism that was the latch, basically, causing the lock to be useless. And the lid to the door that was, well, I should call it a door, I guess, the lid to this chest that was once beating and locked, vibrating with that pressure, just kind of flies open. And inside of it, you see one red-headed little girl. And she is probably about 5 years old, terrified.
Wow.
And she just has like dirt smeared all over her face. She's crying. You could see that she's been crying for probably a long time. The tear marks on her face have made like sores in the shape of tear lines down her face. And the very sight of this would infuriate any pure-hearted amongst the party.
Mm-hmm. Choking back his rage, Ragnar will reach out a big strong arm and say, "Come here, little one."
She's gagged as well, you notice.
He'll pick her up and set her down, kneel down next to her, and take off the gag.
She starts
take off the gag.
gasping for air, coughing, retching a bit in Kragnar's arms. And you can see, like, when you pick her up, Kragnar, that her arms are also pinned behind her back, and that her hands are bound behind her back with crude rope that's dug into her wrists painfully. The other crate is still closed, too, and still thumping, mind you, while all this is occurring.
Yeah. He'll now that she's he'll look at Corvus and look down at the bonds, and he'll go over with the crowbar and do the second one.
Corvus nods in response, draws the dagger from his boot, and begins helping the child. And once he's got her free, he begins comforting her and gives her a good berry.
No.
As Corvus works the bonds off of the poor child that you've broken free, Kragnar, you say you're making another attempt with the crowbar?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's see it, buddy.
Okay. 17 again.
Very nice.
With con legidance is a 19.
Okay, this time, you not only splinter the wood, but a small chunk of the chest actually breaks off with it as well, leaving the lock again completely useless.
Yeah, he would have been a little more animated in this chest
Second
opening,
time
so that makes sense.
Oh, that
Yeah,
roll,
yeah.
yeah, that roll plays out well then, huh?
Mhm.
All right, I like it. I like it. The response fits too. But this chest flies open as well, like the last one did, and inside of it you see a small, similarly colored-haired little boy, and he looks a little bit older than the girl. He's got freckles on his face, slightly taller, very muddy complexion as well, and on top of that, tears streaming down his face. He's gagged and bound as well.
Corvus
Same
is
thing.
going to begin helping the other child as well, and once he's free and his mouth is open, he's going to get a good berry as well. But Corvus turns to Kragnar and says, "We should probably open the other chests too, just in case there might be children alive in them."
Affirming grunt. He'll move the two top chests and bust open the bottom two.
These chests do not beat with the sound of a bleeding child or an innocent locked away by cruel acts of the hag that obviously put them here.
Corvus begins to move the two frightened children away from the other two closed casks.
So you
Yeah,
shelter
I'm
them
still going for it.
Towards the stairs.
Yeah, you shelter them towards the stairs. That would make sense. As you do that, Kragnar, you begin to break open the second or the third casket.
Mm-hmm.
Or at this point, we should call it crates, I suppose.
Depends. Oh, here we go. There we go. That's a 27 to crack the lock.
The lid flies open.
In fact, it is a lock.
As you break this one open as well. but not because someone was begging to get out or sitting up, but because of the force of which you lifted it off. Inside, it would be right to call it a casket, because there lies the not long dead body of what may be a sibling of these two children. Rusty reddish hair, perhaps in between their two ages. A young girl. You can see that the pigtails that she wears in her hair match that of the little girl that Corvus is currently sheltering. Down to the little red ribbons that tie them at the ends.
Closes the lid, gives a face to the group of a and then goes to the final one.
Before you go on, Corvus brings the children down to Father Albright and then comes back up.
Only a 14 on this one, buddy. Maybe he's just a little shocked at that one.
You snap this crate open, and you're almost relieved to find that it's empty.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I would like to ask, would Alcor recognize any of these children?
The boy you were charged with finding was said to be between the ages of 12 and 14, of blonde sandy hair. It also said that he was a bit of a fighter. Those looking for him expected him to be able to hold his own, even for so long as he had been missing.
That's good to know. At least we saved some children.
What were they doing in those crates?
No idea.
I'll pick up the Kragnar will pick up the third box with the child in it, because Corvus, you took the two survivors downstairs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll walk.
Father Albright.
I'll walk the casket down to Father Albright, hand it to him, and give him a stare, and then turn my back on him and walk out like a stairs.
You hand him one of the empty ones?
No, the one with the child in it.
He looks at you confused, but takes it from you solemnly and seeming to know that whatever the contents inside of it are something grim based on the look on your face. He just
Do not show
He just holds it.
to other. Do not show to the survivors. Has same hair as them.
Understood.
Gives him a "you're damn right it's understood" look. Turns his back and walks upstairs.
Aaron, as you flip through the pages of this journal that you've been reading so intently while the party's kind of milling around, no pun intended,
Definitely intended.
There's an entry about a great loss of a loved one. And There are entries detailing years going by and an obsession to bring this loved one back. This person who writes these words on this paper, they passionately begin to devote themselves to a magic called necromancy. Or necromancy, depending on how you pronounce it. And it slowly begins to corrupt them. They meet a powerful lord. And his name is Strahd. Written plainly in the text, you see it there. And the name strikes you for some reason. And the deal he offers the young writer, in exchange for raising an army of the undead, the skills and tools he's learned, an exchange of information. What he wants most. It seems as though the writer doesn't have the memory or even perhaps the courage to write his sins out in plain ink. But he does tell of other sins. How he accepted this deal. He raised this army of undead. He slaughtered innocents in his bid to create this army. He wrought fear throughout the land. And he refers to himself finally in the text as Azarax. Last entry of the journal, flip to the last page. He writes about Strahd not being satisfied with the number of the undead, demanding reinforcements. He requires Azarax to create more. Amongst the stack of journals, this is the final entry. You see Aaron has meandered over that way, picking up and putting down one book at a time, and reading them quickly enough. This paper, in these places, is more rare and sparse than other places, I guess. Super descriptive at the end there. With all that being said, probably leaving you guys all wondering what the rest of you are about and doing, or what's happening while you guys are doing it. Alcor, you see no signs of the boy you're looking for on this floor of the mill. You pray that he doesn't claim the skeleton of one of those that you see lying in the shaft there. But for the most part, looking around here produces little in the results of finding your quarry.
Alcor will then I guess get ready to head upstairs when the rest of the party is ready. If we're going upstairs.
Corvus is with you. He has seen enough grisly sights on this floor, and dreads the sights that could be on the next.
As we go up the stairs, I'll toss down this last journal I'm reading through and take the time to inform the party of what I've read.
And as people are kind of moving around doing this, I would say it doesn't take much longer than the 10 minutes that your a detect magic spell would take there. Corvus. Sorry. Why do I feel like it's been like longer than a week since we played last?
I also feel it.
It's too long, man.
It feels a lot.
A bit too long. Yeah, but I would say that 10 minutes is about the same amount of time. So definitely the message that I just relayed in terms of what you guys just heard could be passed on by Aaron in that time. And also, that point, I would say, because this is a visible thing, you sense, well, no, that's in his bag of holding. Kind of just mark magical things that you would sense in this area. Yeah, I can't say there's anything magical that you'd see, so the spell itself, based on the description, I feel like it just has little effect. Like, there's nothing that's lighting up or glowing with this faint aura, besides perhaps the things that you guys would like recognize. For instance, walking through a metal detector, knowing you have nickels in your pocket, it beeping, or them scanning you with a wand.
No, it's not highlighting anything.
Yeah, you guys can kind of see that there's nothing that, besides the magical things on your person, that is being lit up with an aura.
All right, we're going upstairs.
Corvus moves up the stairs cautiously.
As you begin to move up the stairs, you do hear something else besides that knocking. A cackling laughter from up the stairs.
Oh, it's on.
Cautiously make my way into the room. Weapons at the ready.
Same.
Tarak and Artemine follow at the rear.
Shit.
Jared will go ahead and make his way to the top of the stairs. And peer into the room, see if he can locate the source of the cackling.
Wraith creeps up the stairs, finish retching out the last of the pies he ate earlier. Oh,
Dancing around a thick wooden pole shaft in the center of the cramped circular room are two ugly young women, wearing silk shawls and gowns of stitched flesh. Long needles stick out of their tangled mops of black hair. The women cackle with glee.
Might I ask, what is so funny?
They don't seem to notice you until you speak, but they're also floating like you freely in the air. And one of them replies to you,
Just so happy to have someone to play with.
the other one cackles at this, finding it wildly hilarious.
That's meant to be us.
Well, Morgantha says we can't kill you, but a little scarring, a little scraping, a little burning won't hurt.
The other one laughs, again, stupidly, foolishly, maniacally.
Ragnar will point like a devil's finger, like a pointer and a pinky at both of them. Say, "You were ones who did this to children." He takes his fingers, slices them across the axe, puts those pointer and pinky underneath his eyes, and draws red tear streaks down his cheeks. Growling, a very low growl all the while.
What's on?
Bear with me, guys. I'm trying desperately and very difficultly not having any success to find
That's all good.
a mini right
Gonna get the
now.
minis in there, yeah.
It's a nice pregnant pause. The blood drips further down his cheeks carving lines between the white skull face paint. His growl just gets bigger. His nostrils start to flare.
This is a good pause to get another slice of beer.
Yeah, a slice of beer.
Rocking slices of beer. He does what he does.
Yeah, you're eating slices of cake. I'm eating slices of beer.
I'm having mugs of cake, man.
It's beer cake.
I bet you I could make a delicious beer flavored cake, or just cake with beer in it.
You probably could.
Do you think they'd make beer cake taste like beer, or would it be like coffee cake where it tastes different?
You'd probably have to add a lot of hops and stuff to it to get it to taste like beer.
Yeah, probably. I want my cake boozy though. I want to be able to get the effects of alcohol off of it.
My
it's
grandfather
do you want your rum raisin cookies to taste like rum?
He'd do rum cake, yeah, I remember that.
Who's ready to
Hated
fight
it.
in a phone booth?
Oh, jeez.
Absolutely.
You're fighting in a basement. First problem about fighting in a basement is you're fighting in a basement.
The other
Basement and attic, what's the difference?
young lady in the corner, she says through crooked teeth,
Hasn't anybody ever told you not to walk into someone's place uninvited?
a clear lisp from the wretched dental
That's cool.
hair on her
Nice
mouth.
voice acting. Nice voice acting award right there. It's inspiration
Nice choice.
again.
I like it.
Well, you left the door open.
I'll finish you. Finish you for sure, no problem.
Yes, and your sister Morgantha was such a poor hostess. We figured we'd come in and see for ourselves.
Sister?
They both say, kind of reacting in unison to your claim.
Mother, we take her two children from her. What? He starts to growl real loud, pulls out his axe, brandishes it.
I don't think you're going to get any dispute from any of the party members for this one, but everybody roll initiative. Oh, I have to end our previous combat real quick, sorry.
I'm not attacking if anyone wants to try to talk him down. I could easily be an intimidation roll.
What I like to do now when someone does this is literally leave that to the initiative order.
Okay.
So, like, say, like, you're last in initiative, right?
Oh, probably. Yep.
If that's the case, basically everybody's got a shot to say something or do something before you. If you're second, well, you're second. If you're first, you're first, you know? So it makes it a little different. But basically, if people want you to do that, what I can say is we can just skip to your turn on the first round of combat. That's what happens on the first round of combat.
I don't know. I think Corvus may have a little. I think Corvus has got this. Whatever he wants to do.
And the thing is I'm going to do that before I add enemy initiative rolls. I'll give you that choice before you see the enemy initiative roll. So you can make that choice, and it might be a benefit, it might not be a benefit, but we'll see. Adds a little interesting context to combat. That being said,
I'm putting Conan the Barbarian on. I'm putting Conan on.
get in there, dude.
That's all there is to it.
At
The
least
DM
it
approves of this one.
He
It's
does.
0.
You have inspiration for combat. Look at that.
You're on.
At least it wasn't a 0 this time. Which is why I laughed when you assumed you would be last, because I literally have a -1. I don't think I've ever rolled above a 12 in my initiative.
I do not. I think this might be my first nat 20. Jeez, everyone either rolled 20 or above or single digit. What the heck?
Oh,
Yeah,
damn it.
At least that makes it so a roll like a 1 isn't a huge difference between a 20.
You little mother. I'm sorry, I'm talking shit to Abre. Alright, I beat Abre up and I won. Let's see what's going on here.
I pressed it too.
You're so fast. I don't know who did it first, me or you. But it looks like we may be missing some people from combat. Unless I'm just tripping out here. We got Alessa, Verona. We should have 5. Yeah, we have the right number. I'm wrong. Cool. Awesome. In that case, it is Corvus at the top of the order, Alcor second, and Kragnar third. Now this is what I'm talking about. So Corvus and Alcor become the buffer to this combat starting or not starting. Now if Corvus, kind of the main buffer, he can choose to talk here, continue talking before Kragnar brings the axe home. He hears this growl, this guttural growl, and I'm going to do a better job kind of describing what is happening when, to give you guys some more perspective on how to act, when to act, and what to do, and all that fun stuff that I was kind of complaining about earlier. Because I'm just as much to blame in that respect, if anything, more so to blame than you guys. So do a better job kind of giving you some tools to make those decisions and actions. But basically, yeah, Corvus and Alcor, like I said, are going to be the deciding factors. So whether Kragnar is going to be able to, make that attack immediately, or whether they want to do something else. Because in order for him to make that attack immediately and to start combat here, they need to literally sacrifice their turns. Now they can talk, they can say something, they can do something. That would be like what we'd call a I always forget the fucking term for this. An incidental. Like, you can do it within 6 seconds. You can say it, hey, watch out for that tree.
Hold.
And then smack.
Hold.
Throw an item to someone, something like that, I'll allow
Tree
something
action.
like that. But nothing more than an incidental.
And of course, they're allowed to attack if they want.
Yeah, and you can still take your turn, but if you're saying I want Kragnar to go ahead and get his attack and for us to start battle, basically you're sacrificing your first round of combat to do that. I think the only thing this is meant to be, guys, and not to complicate things, is a way for other players to have a say, and it's random who has the say when something like that happens, because that's basically, it just gives an extra few seconds, 10, 30, a minute, whatever, for people to be like, well, what about this, though? And there's nothing wrong with what's going on right now. I'm just literally saying, anytime you guys fight with an NPC, that's how I'm starting combat from now on.
Okay,
Unless
question
they attack you.
/ request for clarification.
Mhm.
So, hypothetically, not saying this is how I want it to go, but hypothetically, they pass their 2 turns, and hypothetically, I attack.
Mhm.
Do the other people in initiative get to go after that,
Oh, yeah.
including possibly the opponents?
Yeah, so immediately
And
after Alessa, Verona are going to go, then Wraith, then Aaron. So it's sort of like you're giving Kragnar's attack, you're sacrificing 2 other attacks that you could have gotten off the bat in round 1, and giving the ball right to Alessa and Verona for them to do what they want. We're going to attack right after Kragnar. So that's gives you something to think about, I guess. And I don't know in this situation if it will change the course of action, but I think it may be helpful in situations where the party isn't fully aligned on what's going on. And I think that's happened a couple times in the past, and I really don't think right now is a good example of it.
Right. The main point is that if one person goes rogue, the people who get higher initiative have a chance to affect that and or convince they have a bit of a say in influencing how it ultimately goes down.
Yeah.
Rather than I just attack, okay, roll, and then boom. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
My last note on it is it's very natural to want to kill everything in this campaign, because there's a lot of evil and weird and funky shit that's rolling around. So I don't I don't think that that's the wrong or terrible approach at all. Just this is my way to sort of control the game because of that.
Mhm.
So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. But yeah, with that being said, so Corvus, you're up, top of the order. You can obviously take your turn and just attack from here, or you can allow Kragnar to make this quick attack. Or if you're joining him in his attack, your chance is to do it right now.
Yeah, I'd rather just beat him to the punch, and we'll see how it goes from there.
I miss
We'll say,
weapon speeds in
Ragnar has been
D&D.
immediately got upset, and Corvus noticed this. So as soon as Corvus knew that it was inevitable, Ragnar would just attack. Corvus is going to go ahead and cast his Hunter's Mark before. It's not really going to make any difference. He does it kind of quietly before combat's begun, so that it's on her when he makes his attack. It's not a very loud or overt thing. He just kind of whispers a few words, and he casts Hunter's Mark on. Which is the one right in front of me? Verona.
Oh, let me
the one with the
label
red-
them. Let me label them. Sorry about that. I didn't label them in Tailspire. The one on the left, closest to Ragnar, is Verona. The one on the right is Ilessa.
Okay, I'm gonna cast the Hunter's Mark on Elessa.
So you guys have something to refer to.
And since there are multiple people within 5 feet, does flanking already apply in this closet or no?
Right now, you do not have them flanked, and they are currently flying. Both of them are probably about 10 feet in the air. This one needs to get her a little bit higher up to represent that, I think. I will do that.
Okay, gotta go up then. All right. Corvus will move up 10 feet, and then he will make his attack on Ilessa. Yes.
You know those like messed up horror movies, like where the creepy beast is like literally like pressed up against the ceiling? That's basically what's going on here.
Hmm.
The top corners of the wall.
Yes. So much that.
All right, Corvus darts up and takes a swing at her with his scimitar. And I got 24. Does 24 hit
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
on the left side?
I figured you would just assume that a 24 is gonna pretty much hit anything here.
I was gonna.
Yep. That's my
good
bad.
roll.
I was just waiting for a damage roll. Like,
Sweet.
oh yeah, that
Scimitar jigs in
that
good
hit.
from underneath.
Yeah,
and
very nice.
He hits her for 17.
Wow, that will hit as well.
Yeah, it's pretty good for one swing. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Oh, I
Corvus
thought you said you came from
remains
underneath and struck again.
Yeah. And then Corvus remains in Alessa's airspace, continuing to threaten her.
Oh,
in
nice.
melee.
I like it.
Airspace.
It is airspace.
You're literally Peter Panning Alessa right now. I hope you understand that.
Yeah, exactly. Floating like that, yeah.
Do it, dude. Do it.
That's a good analogy. I like that.
Yes, indeed.
It's hard to explain. That kind of just lays it all out with a couple words. It's so perfect.
What I do, man. That's what I do. All right, that should be our good friend Alcor up next.
He will attack the night hag that's in front of him with his rapier, but I'm gonna expend a superiority die and
Hey.
use commanding presence for an intimidation check as well to I guess intimidate the night hag.
Hey, I like it. I'll get that. Roll for you just a sec here. guys like my Night Hag minis?
They're great. I was going to say something.
Made them special for you
Oh, yeah,
guys.
they're looking good.
They're really nice.
Yeah, they're dope.
So I'll have an extra 1 to the intimidation as well.
Got it. And
That'd
that's
be
a
a
7. A whopping 7.
Damn. And he will say, "This is for the all the dead children that is here, and possibly his own target's misfortune." And yeah, that will pretty much end my turn. Was your roll that was for her Constitution saving throw, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, she'll take a. Hang on. That might be next turn that she takes damage, or she might take damage now. Yeah, I think it's next turn that she takes the 1d4 damage.
I think you're right.
But yeah, that one my turn.
All right. Very nice. Very nice. Everybody's making their rounds. It's Kragnar, finally he who started good old initiative here with his growl. The growl resumes as your turn begins.
Yes, Kragnar's reckless attack on Verona. My dear Verona, where we lay our scene. Fair Verona, where we lay our scene.
Shakespeare
He
reference.
will... Yes, thank you. He will just do a full swing, to build momentum up. Like 1, 2, Conan style, and then the third swing he actually, once the axe gets reckless momentum up, he will send right at her torso. Rolling. Using Great Weapon Master. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a 22 to hit for 23 damage, all slashing and magical. Oh, bonus action rage. Frenzied rage. No, wait. I frenzied before, didn't I? Yeah, so just regular rage. And his second attack will be continuing the propeller-like swinging of the blades, or the axe blades. Only a 14 this time. Only a 14 with the Great Weapon Master. So the first one again was a 22 to hit for 22 damage. No, 23 damage, sorry. The second one was only a 14.
Yeah, the 14. Sorry, I was muted there. The 14 is gonna miss, but the 22 hits.
Okay, so 23 damage, and that is it.
Very nice, very nice. All right. almost as if a firework blows off in the middle of the mill. You see a massive explosion come out of the hands of, well, Nalessa. As not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 magic missiles fly and buzz around the mill. And this is going to be interesting. I'm gonna roll 6 times. 6 different targets. The first being
Yeah, I love that about the spell.
Aaron. The second being Alcor. The third being Wraith. The fourth being Solitude.
Ragnar.
Oh, Kragnar.
Où était solitude? Désolé,
shit.
je ne peux pas le
I read for the teleprompter. I'm like Ron Burgundy, dude. Sorry.
Oh my god, I just watched that movie last night.
Well, then you'll appreciate my references. This one is going for Artemine. And this one is going for my friend Tarok.
Probably me, Corvus. I'm the last one left.
No,
Two of them
this
were
one
going?
went for Tarok. So Corvus,
I didn't.
Corvus
Okay.
escaped the fire, luckily. Perhaps due to his roguish nature.
Actually, I don't show myself. Guys, do you remember if I raged at the last fight with Morgantha? Surely I did.
I'm
You did.
almost positive you did. Yeah.
I feel like you did.
Okay, then it would have been frenzy. So okay,
How about
I need to give
walking in
myself.
still raging?
Okay, that's right. Thank you. All right, perfect.
Respectively, that damage gets dealt out, and without respite from the storm, Verona is up next. And in this case, things are about to get, I think, even nastier. You see Verona begin to swirl her hands, almost as if she's shaping a piece of dough that doesn't exist. But a black ball begins to form there, and it looks like atmospheric matter in her hands, as if she was controlling a piece of the, well, a piece of the stars. She begins to twist it, shape it in her hand, and a black beam of enervating energy springs forth from her fingertips. And
I thought you meant she was casting Dark Star. I was
oh
like,
no,
what?
she's getting crazy over here. But that doesn't look very good so far. Gets to roll again. Not much better. Go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw. Ragnar. Not Ragnar. Ragnar's from the Vikings.
Ragnar might be his great grandfather. I'll check that out in a second. Braknar is his father.
Check his
Did you
lineage.
say, I'm sorry, con save?
Yeah, sorry
Con
about
save?
that. Constitution saving throw.
14?
This black beam of energy just shoots past your shoulder as you sort of, for those of you who know the terminology, you faint just to your left. Just ever so slightly turning your shoulders and your cheek such that this energy springs past your face. Doesn't
Wow,
hit you.
lucky.
A fortuitous roll.
Yes. No, I don't know about that, but was lucky as fuck.
Or maybe it was a fortuitous roll.
Mhm.
Fortitudinous roll. There we go.
Or to do to this.
She scowls at Kragnar, and an order falls to Wraith.
I pull out my great crystal greatsword and I swing it at her twice.
Hit her.
Fuck yeah.
Which one you're singing at? Verona or Alessa?
Verona.
I didn't hear.
Or that is
At
going to hit
Verona?
Verona for sure. For sure. And that one is going to just barely miss. The single damage roll should do it. 10.
Great grandfather was Ragnar.
Add another 1d8.
One more do. It's your
From
great
your
uncle's
sword.
Rolo.
Ragnar's skull is the skull that's on his belt of giant strength.
Fuck yeah.
Mhm.
It's lore now.
She feeling that?
Oh, she's feeling it for sure. You can hear her retch out in pain from the 10 or 12 damage that you do there.
Very nice.
This bright light begins to emanate from his crystal sword too. Quite badass. And it seems like that causes her some pain as well, as she winces and cowers away from it. As Wraith finishes his turn, that should be Aaron up.
Do they count as humanoid?
Let me see here.
For the purposes of like
They do
whole
not.
person?
They do
No,
not count
okay.
as humanoid. If you want to know what their classification is, because Dan still had detect magic up when you guys walked up on him, I can say that he would know that these are fiends.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, no hold person against fiends. Sorry, buddy.
So, and I didn't give Dan that information, so if Corvus wants to shout out fiends as soon as he gets up there.
Mhm.
At
He
this
is-
point, we should all know what they are.
That'll be one of his incidentals, as you were
Yeah.
saying earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you guys could probably tell that just from the looks of them, I'll say.
Yeah, you'd probably know hold person wouldn't work on them.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I will turn to Verona. Point with one finger and create a small cloud of darkness around her eyes and cast blindness, deafness, choosing blindness. A Constitution saving throw beating a 16 or better.
Constitution saving throw from the Verona, correct?
Check.
Got it.
That's funny. I was considering using hold person on my initial action as well.
She's gonna pass
I
that
ran into the same
just
same
by
problem.
a nose hair or two.
Couple of nose hairs. All right. I will call that in for Aaron, but I'll move my zomboys up to the bed right here. And I'm going to have all three of them take a swing at Night Hag, who does not appear to have a name. So, did we figure out if there's a way to roll multiple d20s and add the modifier to all of them at once?
I mean, you can do it all in one big roll, but you'll have to do the addition yourself.
To add the modifier to each d20. Yeah, what I would do is just get your roll typed out, like what you need, and then copy it. And then just paste, enter, paste,
That's what
enter,
I've been
paste,
doing,
enter.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But I did test the other idea, and it does work, but you just got to stare at one line and add a number to each roll, your attack mod.
Well, that is not what I needed to do. I definitely
That's
fucked that up.
3d20 plus 8, which you could just add 8 to 14, 16, and 8, I suppose. You get 16, 24, and 22.
Okay.
Yeah, you could just take the individual attack mods and add them to each of those individual rolls.
I mean, if you
and
don't
call
like
those
doing
the
simple
individual
math,
attack.
I am satisfied by it because it's really the only math that I know how to do.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
it's just don't
completely,
bother
I'm
adding them
completely
on.
fine doing satisfying math, simple math. And honestly, I was so confident I had that typed out right in my head, and I was like, "This is gonna be great.
It's gonna
I'm
be
just gonna
great.
copy paste it
It's gonna be
and
great."
enter." And then I saw 46 come up. I'm like, "I definitely
Like-
fucked that up."
Like, well,
You know,
that
it seems like
works.
the real advantage to doing this is when you need to do a lot of attacks that have from summon creatures that have advantage. That's when it
Yeah.
seems the most useful.
I would
But,
agree with that.
Yes.
'Cause it's a lot of rolls.
Do those numbers that you called out, the lowest being 16, hit?
The lowest does not, but the other two did.
The other two did.
Yep.
All right,
Sorry,
let's
I think I
say
got drummed
it
out.
was the two soldiers. Wonderful.
Yeah, you just got to figure out what each of their attack mods are. Decide who made each one of those attacks, and then add if their attack mods are different. It doesn't really work. Like if you summon a bunch of wolves or whatever, it works because their attack mods are all the same. Makes it a lot easier. Otherwise, you got to decide which dice roll is who, etc.
Okay, 11 for the first attack damage, 4 for the second, 15 in total, and that'll be the end of my collective turns. Oh wait, I want to move back just right there. Okay, that's the end of my turn.
Alright, at the end of your turn, Aaron, I'm going to say that Artemine kind of rushing up from behind there, and I'm going to give some people control of these respective minis real quick. So you guys can help me a little bit with the shifting around as I say what they do, because you guys are cool like that.
Like control of one or both of them, if you like.
I gotcha. So I'll give you control of Artemine, Aaron, because your names both begin with an A and it just makes sense in my brain. And then Corvus, I'll give you control of Tarak, because you guys both like to wear black like Johnny Cash.
We're both crow related, yeah.
You're crow related in some way.
Johnny
Yeah.
Bravo.
Like Johnny Bravo, also, who is more cool than Johnny Cash, if you ask me.
A millennial would say that.
That's no offense to Johnny Cash. I got lots of respect for Johnny Cash. I just have a lot of respect for Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Cash's fingers never made snapping noises when he finger gunned at people.
Donna Bravo. Let's see here. Nope. Nope. There we go. Alright, now you should have control of Tarak, who's on the floor just below you.
Say, well, my camera just snapped.
Chilling with bodies.
Chilling with bodies.
Apologize for that. Should have done that earlier. Told you about that earlier. But I knew things were going to get a little busy around combat time, and they just did. So as Artemine moves up the steps, he's basically just going to stand at the bank, like the landing there, I guess. And he is going to hurl a firebolt in that direction. And it soars over the shoulders of his fellow party members, and it... Rolling dice. So suspenseful, it misses. The problem with this is it hits the back wall behind you and ignites that wall. The wall catches flame, and the mill
it will burn.
begins to catch fire.
See, guys, always listen to Kragnar. He knows his shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can
Totally
burn
burned.
this place down
Unless
anyway.
it's being held or worn, yeah, flammable objects that get hit by firebolts will definitely ignite, which is a risk of throwing them, of course, inside somewhere.
Damn it, Artemine.
For the record, Artemine shouldn't be blamed for this.
I know.
Alright, Artemine apologizes briefly, and then he passes his turn, and his turn passes to Tarak, not Corvus, unfortunately. Corvus, you'll have to just bear with me as I stumble through what Tarak can do with his character, and I think the coolest thing that he can do at the moment is...
Sneak attack.
Yeah, we're gonna say that he's pressed up a little bit closer, as Tarak tends to be like a front of the party type of guy. So if you guys can move him close to the point where he can get in perhaps behind someone.
Yeah, put him behind Kragnar. So he's probably going to go after Verona. Verona. The same one Corvus attacked before. And Kragnar. So he's attacking with Kragnar and Corvus. He's in that part with them.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do this a little bit differently, I think. He's gonna be behind Kragnar, exactly like we're talking about, but he is gonna call out,
Ragnar, do your worst. I'm unleashing your rage and anger and saying, go ahead, attack as you will. Ah?
Such mockery.
oh, it's not mockery. He gives bardic inspiration.
I was gonna say that sounds like inspiring.
Yeah, he gives bardic inspiration to good old Kragnar.
Great
Noise.
voice
Get
acting.
that extra D6.
As usual.
I like it.
You may add it to one ability check, attack, roll, or saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
I think this ability should be used more often.
Yeah. Cool thing about it too is you can use it basically like literally whenever you want, even after you've seen the outcome
Yeah.
of a roll. You're like, well, guess what?
It's a really convenient use of a bonus
Plus
action.
D6.
Yeah, it's reaction, isn't it? It's a reaction
Yes.
that
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Can be used whenever.
do? I love that.
Alright, in that case, I'm going to say he sort of just pats Kragnar on the back and draws his rapier, brandishing it at the enemies. When this happens, we're going to fall to the top of round 2. We're going to take a brief break here. You guys go ahead and take 5 or 10, whatever you need to do bathroom, get a pizza slice, get a slice of beer.
Yes.
I'm drinking an anti-hero right now, and I never drink. I'm about halfway through this beer. That'll probably take me the whole session to drink this.
Really? I'm about to move on to my third.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
where it
you a
gets good.
lightweight.
I gotta keep my wits about me. I'm on the clock right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come visit you one day, and we're gonna go drinking. We don't have to go drinking.
You'll-
Honestly, it's cheaper if we bring the alcohol back.
Oh, you'll find out.
True.
I'm a very cheap date. We'll be a couple drinks at the bar, and then I'll be like, yeah, we need to go home so I can puke that up, and then we can have a couple more at my house, and then I'm gonna be passed out on whatever couch is nearby. But yes, I would love to have you sometime. And
I have a great pass-out couch. It's big.
it's the best. You gotta have that couch, the couch available. My couch is not a great pass-out couch. It's an L couch, and it probably needs to be replaced. The dogs seem to like it though.
Nice and worn in.
Yeah, they love it. It's all there's like some boards underneath some of the cushions.
Yeah.
The springs have failed.
I can feel a nail poking me in the butt.
Well, that's normal. It's just the couch saying it likes you.
Just saying hello. Huh?
All right, see you guys in 10.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Out of game chart.
I have an out of left field question.
I have
Shoot.
an out of right field.
Shoot from the other
Was
direction.
it not this group that someone I was complaining about not being able to cook rice exactly, perfectly? And someone in this group
Told you have to
mentioned
wash
the
it.
rice. No, they gave the first knuckle of the pinky water advice.
Yeah,
Is that not this group?
That was me.
That was you. Okay, well, my rice cooking has been lit ever since. My dad apparently could cook rice real well. My mom's never been able to figure it out, but now I can cook rice like my dad. So thank you.
Yeah,
Cooking
dude,
some right now.
That's how you cook rice legit, dude. First knuckle, water measurement, perfect.
Mhm.
Every time.
Yep.
Do you wash your rice though?
If
I
you
don't.
want it extra sticky, you do, yeah.
I do like my rice extra sticky.
I don't like to coddle my immune system, so whatever contaminants are on the rice is just gonna toughen me up.
Oh, I definitely like to coddle my immune system.
He likes pesticides.
Mm-hmm.
Needs a little mercy every now and then.
Treat my body like a temple.
No. Gotta sack a temple every once in a while to truly toughen up the people.
Well, I sack it. So my body moments.
Is that a new? That's a new term? Yep. All right, guys, I gotta get. I go sack the temple real quick.
Sometimes the temple gets sacked. That's just how it goes.
Temple gets sacked. That's when the house is rocking. Don't come a knocking.
Yep. Sack the temple.
I'm fucking sacking temples, boys. No DMs to the DM right now.
Is that what you tell Monica? Sorry, babe, I gotta go stack this temple.
Alright, she's the one that getting her temple sacked.
All right. That's aggressive.
Well, that's
Talking about dog UTIs and sacking temples now.
just the way it
Next
is.
thing we talk about
the way it is
curtain
in this
being
household.
torn in two or something.
I'm
Jeez.
real life Conan, dude. When I was a little kid, I used to walk around with a sword saying I was Conan's child. Who asked me who's
That's
your
cool.
dad? Like, Conan is my
Conan.
dad.
It probably made your
Looked like Conan.
Okay, I was about to say, like, either that would emasculate your father horribly if he wasn't Conan-like, or make him feel like a badass.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it made him feel pretty proud. He's like, I'm pretty sure he thinks I'm Conan.
That's cool.
He just didn't have the long, flowing, beautiful hair. That was all he was missing. And probably the California tan. He had an Illinois Mason's tan. So, tan
I am
arms.
into Valeria. I cry out for more Valeria in the Conan movie.
Yeah, man.
And a lot of my female characters, although Solitude isn't right like her, but they're very Valeria-like.
Similar, though. Solitude's got similarities to Valeria. Solitude's a little bit more refined, I think, than Valeria is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
Gotta have a catchphrase. Got that catchphrase.
Oh, yeah.
You live forever?
I feel like I want to guest star in this campaign that Solitude's in, just so I can catch a glimpse.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
Please guest star.
Re-beginning
Please.
November 30th, so I would love to have you guest star in it. Or just
November
join
30th.
it altogether.
I will create a character.
To do like CR Campaign 3, where it's like a month-long party split with guests showing up and stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's been a break. There's been like a 3-month break where a couple of us been just kind of taking some time getting priorities straight, and it's been some time. So I kind of need to justify that, and I've been working on that. So it'll be easy to slot a new character in there.
Would GMW fit the setting?
Yeah, it's the same setting that GMW was in.
Oh my god. We got it, baby.
The funny thing is, GMW could have his entire backstory from the campaign he played in, and it would make sense in this campaign. And it would make sense for a volley of reasons that I would explain to you over the course of several hours before I introed you to that game.
Alright, we got it. Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll save that for after today's session. But that being said, I think
awesome marketing there.
Is Wraith.
Nope, I gotta check on my rice. Be right back.
Do your thing. Wraith and Corvus. Yeah, I see Wraith popping in the Discord there. Got Corvus, we got Alcor. Oh,
yeah, I'm here.
Cool. Good.
They're the same level as we are when we ended? Are they higher level?
They are much higher level.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that one I'm gonna open the floodgates.
This one got to real high level. Talking at least double digits, right?
Oh, that one will be a level 20 by the end of it. They're 37 sessions in, so they played for quite a bit. Just had that little pause. Have to resume. But with that being said, go ahead there, Corvus, and start us off top of the round 2. I'll get us some battle music going, because we're missing that right now for sure.
Alright. Since Corvus is still behind the hag in the shadows, and he's got people in melee supporting him, he's going to take his attacks from behind with advantage. He swings with his scimitars. Is that one roll or two? That one. Okay, roll again. Alright, first one hit. Damage.
Looks like a 25 and a 23.
And the second attack.
Come on. That'll hit.
Nice.
Very nice.
Alright, so we got only 10 damage, but we're going to add 11 on top of that. And it's all magical slashing.
You guys should be able to hear weird little music with weird little cackles in the background soon, hopefully.
I do hear that.
Good deal.
Alright, that's 21 damage.
Excellent.
And it will be the end of my turn.
I shall attack Alyssa twice with my rapier. $15 was hot. And I'll end my turn.
I think that's me next. Is that right, Gan?
Yes, that should be you up next there, Ragnar.
The momentum of his last miss sending him off balance. He has to swing the great axe under his leg, bring it up with one hand, helicopter spin overhead, and then goes for the neck of the witch.
Dunk on her.
with a vicious off-balance swing. Oop. I did a normal roll, so I got to roll another. What happened? Ignore the critical. 17 to hit. And I do need a crit fish for another.
Advantage.
Yeah, probably, or something. I don't know. So here comes the other roll. It would have been less. So if a 17 hits, then we're doing 23 more damage. And then with the second attack, the Great Weapon Master, Virtual Weapon Choice. It's like you'd think playing a non-spellcaster would be easier, but there's so much clicking on the Beyond 20 settings when you're doing one of these attacks. It's wild ass. All right. All right, here we go. This should pull up. Okay, there we go. Second attack, advantage rolling. There we go. It's auto rolling crits for some reason. I gotta change that. But the second time is a 22 to hit for 29 damage. There we go.
All right. It's a big hit.
And he will, yeah. So that's a double helicopter swings, and then he will shift over if he can. I don't know if this is enough for a little bird fella to sneak in there with his rapier, but if it is, that's what Kragnar is attempting doing. And that's me.
I believe she has to take the Constitution save, and if she doesn't make it, a 1d4.
There we go. More script bases.
It should be an 11.
Gotta beat a 15, I believe.
And you said it's a single D4?
Yep.
Got it. That is 1. Alright, and... I do like the turn order very much. I like it very, very much. Suddenly, unless it disappears. And quickly after her, Verona. Leaving a Wraith standing, probably confused where his combatants have vanished to.
Did they perhaps turn invisible? I only ask because I have a blind file.
I stare out in confusion, not sure what to do. Where did those tags go?
Hunter's mark on one of them.
True.
You'd know if they were still close.
They're
But that's
nowhere nearby.
All right, then it dispels.
Yeah, I would say as soon as they disappear, it dispels. for your perspective, and you could probably feel the spell break on your end.
Mm-hmm.
Where go? Let me up.
Gone to their hideout, I assume. And Corvus sighs and sheathes his blades.
Me want to tear this place apart.
And for reference,
Corvus.
they vanished much the same way that Morgantha had vanished.
Question, is the place still on fire? And,
Yes,
gaining
very much
fire?
so.
Okay.
I just probably haven't described that very well. The room heats up as the fire does continue to grow on the wall where Artemine's firebolt struck. We'll all get to haze him about the firebolt he didn't causing.
It's a good thing we have flying carpets.
Although this
I
place-
dare you to try that, Craig.
This place, burning to the ground might not be the worst thing in the world, although you still have yet to explore all of it. There is one level up the tower. A rope ladder that has not yet caught fire sits in the center of the room.
Ooh.
That leads up to basically like an attic area, or a bell tower-like area.
Is the fire small enough to be contained by a create water cantrip currently?
Yes, it's only about 10 feet wide at the moment, and probably covers the entire length of the entire height of the wall. But it's minimal to the point where a large water spill like that would wipe it out probably.
Okay. Corvus will soak the wall with his cantrip and buy us some time to explore the rest of it, so we can, destroy it at our leisure.
All right. Well, pausing our turn order to let anybody act. I think Alcor also mentioned something that he had a spell right as it was Wraith's turn, and I missed what you had said there, Alcor.
No, it was, I was just asking if they turned invisible. Just because I had blind fighting, and if they turned invisible, they would have to, I believe, roll a stealth check or something, because I can see it unless it hides successfully.
Let me read blind fighting real quick, because it's been a while since I've seen blind. So you're talking about in Tasha's. Got it. Okay.
And I believe I was within at least 10 feet of Irissa or whatever.
You have blind sight within a range of 10 feet. Within that range, you can effectively see anything that isn't behind total cover, even if you're blinded or in darkness. Moreover, you can see invisible creatures within that range, unless the creature successfully hides from you. You're making me question all of, like, my D&D knowledge right now, in terms of.
Hey man, this is the first time I actually get to do something like that.
You're like, I need to use this.
I was gonna use it, or pair it with like Fog Cloud. That's where I got that spell. I haven't had a chance to use Fog Cloud yet.
Yeah, darkness and blind sight is good fun.
Alright. I'm gonna make a thematic choice. Right now. Right here and right now. And say that you cannot see them. Because they're not actually invisible.
Okay.
They're not physically where they were just a moment ago. is the best way I can explain it without telling you expressly what's going on when you should expressly know.
Okay.
But in the sense of your ability, it wouldn't work because they're not actually invisible creatures at this point.
So it'd be similar to them like teleporting or going to a different plane or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Corvus sees Alcor's confusion and says, "You'd best get used to that. A lot of the greater undead will be hunting and have this ability. And of course, these aren't even undead." And Corvus just sighs again.
Ragnar growls in frustration, and he'll,
Look at this gambit many times.
I guess he'll go for the door right in front of him to try to open it. Or are we still in initiative order?
You guys are basically out of initiative order, with initiative order still intact.
Okay.
So if anything comes afoul or any enemies come into purview, we'll be right back into Wraith's turn. He's just right now as much flabbergasted as you are all, I think, at what's going on. But you guys
We
can
can
feel
stay in
free
initiative.
Yeah, you guys can feel free to act as you'd like to right now, just like you would if there was no initiative going on.
Okay. Well, I'll rip open that door, having no regard for the property value or resale value of this.
Establishment.
No.
Let's see here.
Cabinetry, very dated anyway.
More crates.
Children-sized crates?
The same size as before. These ones, a couple of them have the lid slightly ajar.
He'll pull down 1, 2, and 3 and kind of set them out for people to look through. He'll look through the last one himself.
Luckily, you find that all 3 of these are empty, weightless, besides the large wood that they're constructed of.
Fuel for fire. I'll head up the ladder. Anyone else wants to do anything?
Corvus would like to investigate the area and look for any sort of secret compartments. It seems like a good place. Especially this closet area that Kragnar was in. He's going to check the floorboards, the walls, that kind of thing.
Alcor will join you on going up the ladder.
Be right behind you going up the ladder as well.
As you kind of fish around there for something or something stashed, I think is what you're going for, Corvus. Go ahead and roll investigation for me.
Alrighty. I'm going to roll with guidance. Oh, it was almost a 19. Oh, never mind.
You get to the
It's
bed,
19 and just rolled over.
you begin to pat around. The bed is firm, uncomfortably firm, and lumpy in places. As if there's something hidden within the mattress that's made of moldy straw.
Oh.
With some hesitation, Corvus will draw the dagger from his boot, and with increased hesitation, he'll squint and kind of hope some horrible smell doesn't come out as he cuts the mattress open.
Besides the smell of the moldy straw, no foul odor arises in your nose. But if you cut with a knife, you probably feel that something that's lumpy and stashed within the mattress within as you draw across the blade. And you may even hear a tink tink or two.
Corvus is intrigued and tears the mattress open and looks inside to get a better view at what has been stashed.
You're able to find 6 pieces of cheap-looking jewelry. They look to be of decent value, stuffed this moldy straw mattress.
Corvus nods, gives a smile, and he grabs the jewelry and then stashes it with the other jewelry he's got stashed away. Our jewelry stash is growing, guys. Remember to thank the hags. And then Corvus kind of sarcastically snorts with derision, puts the stuff away, and moves towards the ladder.
As you join the rest of your companions up the stairs, they found that there's a domed attic at the top of the windmills. Well, at the top of the windmill, I should say. At its peak. But this dome chamber is filled with strange old machinery. And there's not much room to move around. Find a young sandy-haired boy around the age of 12 to 14, laying flat on a cot that doesn't have a blanket or a pillow. The only light that slips in is a bit through the attic and small holes in the walls. It's otherwise dark up here.
It seems I'll still have a payday after all. I will check and see if the boy is alive at all.
Alcar, go ahead and roll a medicine check as you check the boy's vitals.
Nice.
You feel a strong pulse. He's sleeping deeply and obviously not waking up from your touch. He seems to be perhaps intoxicated somehow. Put to sleep.
Alcor will pick him up and get ready to get out of the windmill.
You hear some slurring in his speech as you hoist him onto your shoulder and his belly lands flat onto your shoulder blade. But other than that, he stays asleep with his eyes closed. His eyelids fluttering slightly.
And I'll begin to make my way down.
Anything else up here? I'll toss the rest of the place up here real quick. Check the weapons out, underneath these blankets, and there appears to be, just check under the blankets, rope and stuff like that.
Don't really find anything up here. It's sort of almost like a hovel. And this rack on the wall over by the boy is more like a torture rack. You see a couple of chains attached to it that look like the boy was at one point restrained there. Perhaps earned his
Oh, wow.
freedom somehow. Or is just not restrained because he was currently unconscious. But there's also some other mechanism that looks to be like a stretching rack. Punishment. Something.
Kragnar will rip apart this entire torture area and then go to town on this wheel.
I'm not even gonna have you roll for that. It does not stand a chance against you. And you begin to damage the wheel to the point of it being irreparable. And with that, the mill outside no longer turns.
Satisfied grunt. Takes. Anyone have torch?
I have firebolt.
Lots of fuel for fire up here. Me coming down. He'll head down.
Sounds good. I was just gonna strike the place with lightning.
Pretty baller. No, we still got to get out of here.
Well, seeing as Kragnar has started a fire in the attic, Corvus is going to flee down the stairs.
Kragnar, to his incendiary delight, finds that the mill catches rather easily with all the dust and old birds' nests and blankets and things that were gathered up in the attic area there. Having safely recovered his young friend Lucian, Alcor can collect his reward. And there's no sign of the night hags in the nearby area. A shout from Father Albright at the door tells you he's just as confused at what's going on as you are. However, there's no idea that you've incurred combat with two other hags. Asks what the bloody hell is going on and why do I see black smoke?
Is there blood on Kragnar's axe?
Oh yeah, I'd say there's like black Icarus blood on your axe.
He'll shove it into Father Albright's hands and say, "Clean it, Chuck," and walk away.
Corvus sighs and begins wiping his blades off on the grass, trying to clean them.
As you throw the blade to Father Albright, and I'm going to do this legit here, see how cool Father Albright can be. Oh, not cool at all. He tries to step away from your axe, like let it fall past him. And instead he like awkwardly steps aside and realizes he's going to need to catch the axe.
Dice telling a story. That's what's going on here.
And with that, he catches your axe with the ease and looks at you and shakes his head. Disappointment. But also begins cleaning the axe.
Women clean. I didn't want to say that then. All right. But if he cleans the axe, then that's cool.
Oh yeah, without argument, he cleans the nasty shit off your axe, as he knows just as well as any. Blood on the blade can rust it.
As we're walking out, Alcor would be at the back, I guess, shooting every now and then periodically a firebolt on some of the flammable objects in the tower, the mill.
Sorry, one more time. I missed the first part of that.
Just he's periodically as he's going, as everyone else is going before him, he is just shooting firebolts every now and then at flammable objects in the mill.
Just catching things afire. I love it.
Ooh.
I love it. Say Artemine probably would follow suit in that regard. You hear Tarak probably say something along the lines of, "Watch my feathers, Scrap!" as he runs out of the building, trying not to catch flame. Sounds like you guys are getting out of there.
Yeah, I'm out. Totally out of there.
You look behind you. The old mill that they call the Bone Crusher. For a very good reason. Stands smoldering in flames. Beginning to crumble from the inside out. And from the outside, it looks as solid as it ever was. Once more. In the distance, you hear a wailing of anger and pain, and it sounds distinctly like Morgantha's voice.
How far away does it sound?
Probably about 100 feet. But it sounds, unfortunately, like it could be coming from any direction. Or better yet, like it's coming from all directions.
Well, I don't think the hags are too pleased with our work here, but so far I think I am. And Corvus kind of nods with satisfaction and pats his blades.
Absolutely, today's been a productive day for me.
The children are shaking and terrified. Even the young boy, Lucian, older than the rest of the survivors of a terrible Bonegrinder, looks visibly shaken.
Well, we shouldn't wait any time.
She made me eat those pies. That's all she gave me to eat. At a certain point, you get so hungry you don't care what's put in front of you. I knew what was in them. Few of them had fingers. I hate those two. Looks at, let's see who rescued him, Alcor. Asking, basically, for some sort of assessment of him and his character after such terrible actions to have eaten the dream pies.
Alcor will say, that was definitely some hell you went through. But I think whether you are a freak, that is for you to decide with your later actions in the future.
Don't tell the others, okay? He says, like nodding, gesturing towards the smaller children. Wondering
say,
whether he might have dined on one of their siblings or a friend, comrade that they'd met in captivity.
Alcor will say nonchalantly, sure, man.
His eyes are wide, pupils dilated, bloodshot red eyes. He looks to be, like I said, under the influence of something, intoxicated in some way as he comes to. And he certainly seems been affected by not only the situation, but whatever he's been ingesting. Do you have any more of those pies? Did they leave any laying around? I'm starving.
I don't believe so.
Maybe we could just go back and check. He starts heading back towards the house that is apparently
Alcor,
3/4 of the way on fire.
Alcor will immediately grab him and knock his ass out. I am not losing a payday today, man.
Go ahead and hit him with a willingly non-lethal unarmed strike to try and knock him cold here.
Wow, sweet.
You're looking to beat a 12 AC. It should be relatively easy to knock him out. You're going to hit him if you beat a 10 AC, so it looks like you knock an 18. He's out cold and minimal amount of damage. Let's say he doesn't even take the 5, just a cold knock to the back of the head and incapacitated. Kids, you know.
Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Exactly. Spare not the bush.
Corvus just stares at
Attack
Alcor
temple.
and says, "Really?
Hey man,
We're kids, aren't we?"
hey man, I don't want to deal with him till I get my paycheck, man.
Shut up, kid. Funk. Oh, that's hilarious.
I'll pick up the crate with the non-surviving child. Solemnly.
Father Albright crosses himself as you do so, saying something under his breath.
What now?
Well, it seems we should have to escort these children back to town now.
Where are you from, little ones?
Barovia.
Where?
Says the little boy, freckled, dirty-faced, wiping the tear marks from his eyes, slowly, repetitively wiping his right eye, which looks to have a small bruise underneath it.
But we don't want to go back there. Not after what they did.
Not to worry, little ones. We will take you to the church to meet our friend, Father Lucian. He will take care of you.
Why not return to family? Clan. Strong. Bonds. Unbreakable.
Not after what they did to us.
And the boy, presumably the older brother of the little girl, he's only 2 or 3 years older than her. She seems like she's about 5 or 6, like I said. Brave little boy stands proudly next to his sister and says to you, not after what they did.
Ragnar not under you free from witches. They not hurt you anymore.
Not the witches, says the little girl, standing next to her brother. And she looks down, tears begin to stream down those old marks on her face. Our parents, they sold us for pies. Me and my sister both. We won't go back to them. There was a woman in Barovia. She was kind, and she held classes for the kids that were underprivileged like me and Myrna. He looks at his sister. Her name was Irina. We would go to live with her. She lives in Barovia still. And these kids have obviously been gone from their homes since Irina still lived in Barovia. Which, for those of you that haven't been with us since the beginning of the campaign, that was the beginning of the campaign.
A near subsonic, non-throat, almost bodily growl emanates from Kragnar, and his hands and fingers dig into the wood of the box he's holding. And just stands there stoically. Well, not stoically, because he's growling. Angrily.
Stoic anger. I like it.
Alcor is all for, the kids going where they want to. Wherever that may be.
To Valaki, then. But we will be paying a visit to Barovia.
For sure.
What say, rest of you?
I say we head back to Valaki. And then, maybe to Barovia again eventually. I'd have some other things to do, though.
Yes.
For now, we should bring the children to the church. And, maybe let Irina know about them.
Yes, let's bring the kids back. If we need, I can put the manacles on them.
Corvus just kind of stares at you and then just looks away.
What is it? I know it's always dark and cloudy in Barovia. What's our travel time versus weather and light situation? Ragnar sniffs and looks into the air, looks to the skies. Roleplay it. And you might be muted, you might be thinking.
Oh, I was definitely muted. But also thinking, right as you said, you might be thinking. So kind of both were true. But I was talking before you said.
You're suited, you're minking.
Suited and minking. And muted and thinking. But No, if you can give me what destination you're looking to get to, I can give you a travel time from here, and then I can also give you like a reference of time of day it is currently. When you guys left, if I'm not mistaken, there was a long rest taken immediately after the battle. You guys kind of rested up. You left like daylight to track him in the daytime to get his tracks with good old Soldar. Chasing after Yevgeny, who you didn't find, but you did find your Ori in the mill. And so we could say it's probably like getting close to late afternoon after the interaction with the kobolds and all that. I'm gonna say late afternoon. So probably like 3, 4 o'clock. Plenty of time till dark. But in terms of where you're trying to get to, I wasn't clear on that, sorry. That was a question for the group. Where are you guys trying to get to?
I think Valaki, right, guys?
Valaki.
Cool.
Yeah, Valaki.
Church in Valaki.
Thank you. You guys all knew. You guys were just all like, someone's gonna answer. I won't answer. But then no one answered.
We all passed the torch.
You all
but
passed.
no one wanted to light
yeah,
it.
you all passed the talking mic, and then everybody's like, you know what? You do it. You do it. You do it. Someone tell me. In that case, Valaki here is only about an hour's travel, so you would not probably see the moon as it rises into the misty, cloudy sky.
Sweet. Well, to Valaki we go.
Yeah, backtracking back is not hard, given that you still have a little bit of dim light. You guys head back to Valaki. I'll get you guys back on that map. Just give me 1 second here. I'm just either really bad at predictive logic or just not very smart, but I never guess right what you guys are going to do second or next. Which is okay. That's how it's supposed to be. And I'm going to try and get you guys on this board real quick. Now that I've shifted over, you guys should be able to shift over. You'll have to forgive me, you are where you were last, so you're probably most likely in the town square, or headed out of it, or somewhere near the Blue Water Inn. Looks like, yeah, most of you are in the town square confronting Izek still, who is now dead.
Is he?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's undead.
Aaron could make that change that real quick.
He already did. Yeah, he's got Izek following him around.
Awesome.
I missed getting to kill Izek. What a bummer.
Yeah, but now you still get to hang out with him in undead form.
Yeah, I just don't have the mini representing him yet.
I mean, I feel like Izek was a pretty good mini
Yeah,
by
it's
himself
still
to
his, I was
represent
gonna say.
undead, if you want to use that mini.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see him. Yes, I'll take that.
And he looks like he's all undead. He's got some blood running down his arm. Looks like he might not be long for this world.
Take that one. Take
Here.
that one. Take Sildar. Take everybody I can get.
Give me all of them.
You don't have to spawn them into this map or anything.
Well, it should be worthy of the fact that you are, walking around with a pretty sick posse of dudes behind you, though.
Yeah, I'd say Izek and Zildar walking in front of me, flanked by the 2 guards. I'm in the middle.
I believe Zoldar is actually on this map too, as a matter of fact.
Damn, Irwin looks badass. Fuck, dude. I want to make a character like that.
Yeah, Irwin revealed that he was a were-raven. And I got his mini kind of a little bit later than expected, or that I thought. A session after he popped out. He was kind of like a vampire guy for a session or two. Old school vampire-ish dude. You guys can feel free to just kind of walk through probably the south gate of town, which would be like back by the marketplace. So literally, like, this is an okay place for you guys to kind of enter town, as you would enter town here. Most likely is the main part of town.
Yikes, it's not.
The streets have been cleaned up a little bit. People aren't dead anymore. So sad. Slowly getting everybody out here. Slowly.
Is that entrance like where the wall is? Or is there a wall everywhere? Oh, I see it, okay.
The entrance to like the town square from the south gate is like right here. South gate's a little bit further down past the marketplace, but
okay.
Yeah, you guys are.
So we're past the south gate.
Yeah, like I guess what I'm saying is retroactively, you guys could be here. You're not gonna have any problems getting through the town gate. You will notice that there's still Vallaki guards. The entrance of the town gate, though their number is thinned considerably. They still bear the same armor. However, all of the signs about festivities and the Baron signs have been ripped down, torn down, and some of them are left scattered in the streets. Various paper shreds across the streets. Old posters and new posters alike. Other than that, the town's pretty quiet. Not many people in the square at all. Few guards, few stragglers.
Corvus is going to escort the newly orphaned poor children who are going to be made into pies to the church to meet Father Lucian.
Would my quarry's family be in this village?
They are unfortunately in Barovia.
I'll keep them with me then.
And when I say Barovia, I'm probably confusing sometimes, as there's literally a city in the realm of Barovia called Barovia. where you start out, the Death House, Irina lives there, the graveyard, some creepy Barovians, the real Barovians. And yeah, basically his parents were people that were seeking out their young boy that had disappeared. But not far from Vallaki. And in that sense, the small children had said that their parents were also from Barovia.
Oh, we're going there, don't you worry.
I was actually gonna follow Corvus to see if we can cure this ailment of this child, so I don't hit him every time he wakes up.
And I'll do a little party split and go check on Irina and Ismark.
Knowing a little bit about the affliction, Corvus, I'd say be fair to say that you'd be able to tell him that time is his best ally here, and that
Mm-hmm.
withdrawal
Oh, for sure.
and those things are likely to come and the effects of them.
Yeah, Corvus is going to tell it to the boy once he reawakens from.
Well, Alcor is the one asking you if
rough
there's some sort
handling.
of medical cure. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Or was he also coming to the church?
Yeah, I was gonna follow you there.
We'll talk to Father Lucian about it.
Awesome.
I'm guessing everybody is headed to the church.
Well, I was just gonna make things challenging for you and go check on Irina and Ismark.
That's all right.
Um,
You don't. You could do something else besides go to the church. Just trying to figure out what everybody's doing.
Alright, yeah, I was muted. Going to the church too.
Okay. So we got.
Well, I won't be a dick and go do that then. I'll just go with everyone else because I got the kid's body anyway.
Should probably be buried.
Yeah, well, I suppose we'll need to make space in the graveyard for that one.
Mm-hmm. Shouldn't be carrying a body in around wounded Ismark anyway.
It's a Turok probably following near front of the pack and Artie somewhere in the middle of the pack.
Sure.
As you guys head in the direction of the church. And before we start this little segment, as this will probably be our last 15 or 20 minutes here, I'll be right back. One moment.
Wraith walks over, retching again from eating those pies earlier. Oh man, I feel like those kids are rotten.
I hope you learned your lesson about the pies.
Only bake them with good kids.
Ugh!
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
What up?
Apologies. Alright, as you walk back into the church, you find that Father Lucian is not present. However, there's a few volunteers present, as well as Irina and Ismark.
Yeah,
He
nice.
is back up and on his feet, though. Has a bandage wrapped around his midsection and is hunched over, currently kneeling, not kneeling, sitting against a wall.
Is Mark for president, whatever year it is in Barovia.
So you're back so soon? He winces at his wounds, smiling and laughing, obviously painful for him. He resiliently continues to do both. Thought I wouldn't see you getting up to that mill without us. Not so smart. And in the condition he was in, obviously, an Ismark-like response. It's good to see you all. Says
Smiles
Irina.
and says, "Oh, sorry."
It's alright. Just trying to fill the silence.
Me too. Corvus smiles and says, well, "Considering who we ran into at the old mill, you should be glad you weren't there, Ismark. But you are looking, no, not too worse for wear." And Corvus kind of just smiles at him and reassuringly. But while we were there, we managed to save a small number of children, and we decided to bring them here in hopes that they'll be safe here in Village.
Oh, that's good. This is a safe place for them, it would seem. Father
Yes,
Lucian
those
is...
hags will not be grinding up any more children at the Bonegrinder anytime soon. Corvus smiles and kind of puffs his chest out, self-assuredly.
Both of his eyebrows raised in sort of a questioning confusion. But he simply responds that Father Lucian is currently helping Erwin with some damage control, basically, after the town was under attack, really. And Erwin, having left to handle other business elsewhere, tasked Father Lucian with, well, basically calling a few people to the carpet. The first of which being Henrik van der Voort, and the second being Lady Wachter, or at least trying to keep her in line, and prevent her from taking control of the city of Vallaki itself, as she would be likely to do with a number of followers under her control.
Yeah, we created this power vacuum. Now we're gonna have to fill it.
But just to give you that little bit of political background, that's basically why I share it as Ismark. Irina says she's happy to see you all. She gives a little flutter to Tarek. But they don't have much in the way of new news or new business outside of they've been helping Father Lucian here do what they can. Basically, Irina is doing what she did back in Barovia. She, helped teach kids and take care of small children. And Ismark was also a teacher of sorts, but instead he was preparing children the rougher and darker side of Barovia. Honing their combat skills, their awareness. The thing that Ismark sometimes lacks.
Yeah. Ragnar will walk up to Irina. Ragnar of request for Irina.
Request?
Yes.
Ragnar, you are a friend to me. These are not things that friends ask of one another. Speak your problem, and it is my problem as well. Speak your need, and it is my need as well.
You fight with knowledge and strategy. Ragnar fight with sheer strength and fury.
Brute force, she says.
Ragnar would like help learning some combat techniques on Irina or Ismark when healthier.
Irina smiles at
Same.
this.
So you wish to improve your precision? To strike as a viper and not as a bear?
Maybe strike as bear with viper fangs.
Or perhaps an owl bear.
Yes.
Yeah, owl
like
bear's
owl
more fitting
bear.
for sure.
Corvus says, I aspire to that form someday as well.
How serious are you about this, Kragnar? About learning this?
He's quite serious. This is
She marks that you're like, that you're, and you're kind of an orc of little words too. So this is definitely a lot. I feel like she would take you seriously. Think here.
When I'm better? What do you mean when I'm better?
Says Ismark, lurching forward, stiffening and standing up straight. Though grimacing in pain, he's able to resume to his full form, and his full form is quite large. He's as tall as Kragnar.
Ragnar gives him the
Ragnar?
gives him the sup, the approving bro sup. Head raised.
Chests not far from one another.
Mhm.
He asks you if you want to learn something.
Yes. Want to use axe with same swiftness and sharpness as blade. You teach Irina.
I can't help you so
both.
much with the axe. Your skills with the axe, they exceed my tutoring. However, the way you move when you wield it, a bit clumsy at times. What What you need is to learn the skills of a boxer. A pugilist, if you will.
Yes, you teach.
Question for the party before I continue with this. What are you guys... Are you guys listening in on this conversation? Do any of you have any other means at this church outside to try and get some some refuge for the children that you found? Or, in your case, Elcor, a method to get your child back to your ransomers? Or the parents? People who can pay your bounty?
Yeah, I'm just waiting and listening. I did come in for a cure, but I'll wait till the father comes back in.
I was a newer member of the party, so I wanted to let the more senior members, have the say in what happened. I'll go along with it.
I urge you to speak up if there's something you would like to do here, Wraith. There's not really, there's some of us that have been around longer, but that doesn't mean that you don't get to have say in what we do.
Right. Exactly.
The only thing I was gonna do is ask about burial rites for the child that didn't make it.
I think all of those being questions probably for the priest. A cure, although albeit one is probably not available, and the burial rites probably being a simple request that will be obliged without kind of argument. That being said, continue with this little pugilism that we have here. For about 25 to 35 minutes, he spends time just tutoring you on foot placement, footwork. You start to perform a couple of drills, which at first seem utterly stupid. The way Kragnar's moving around sort of looks like halfway between a ballerina and perhaps a pit fighter or a sumo wrestler as he bobs foot back and forth from foot to foot. And as he follows the direct tutoring of Ismark with Irina as his quote-unquote sparring partner, he begins to get a little bit more dexterous, a little bit more focused on the movements. You start to see that the muscles in Kragnar's body, they tighten. You can see them twitching. New reaction and muscle memory. He begins to learn the movements of a boxer. And with that, Kragnar, you can increase your constitution score by 1 to a max of 20.
Ooh.
And your unarmed strike now uses a d12 for damage.
Okay.
Hey, look who's a good student. Corvus is impressed by how much Kragnar's martial stance appeared to improve there.
Why you stand so? Oh, I do. It kind of like what Jarok taught about quiet walking.
Right, Arena says. You want to move like a silent bandit in the night, then strike at your opponent.
She says, mimicking a blow to just underneath your chin, but not actually landing it, stopping just short, but resting her fist gently on your chin, smiling at you. And get this this boon is a feat we're gonna call the Boxer.
Oh, shit.
Seeing this, all of you understand that this is probably knowledge that you could have at your disposal as well. And if any of you gain interest in the art of pugilism that is occurring before your very eyes, Ismark would probably take notice of it and immediately, get you to stand up and join the fray or the fold, so to speak. So anybody who wants to take this feat can take it also here. This is just a free feat, so not a bad thing to do.
Absolutely.
During the course of this, Corvus tells Ismark that he's got a real knack for teaching.
This is something you could teach babies, my friend.
Ray steps forward as well.
Basically teaching you how to throw a jab and how to keep your feet where they're supposed to be when you're throwing the punch. You could feel the power increase, the snap behind your punch. The overall fluidity, the movement of your body from your toes all the way to your hair on top of your head. Your head even tucks a little bit, and you return to that defensive stance perfectly. You're in good shape. Each of you who practice in this art, like I said, each of you can increase your strength or constitution score by 1, and your unarmed strike now uses a d12 for damage, and that may need to be something that you keep track of manually.
Bunch of us can be boxing now instead of swinging swords.
Some of you might want to.
Scimitar's looking kind of silly right now.
Useful in a pinch.
Well, the reason I'm doing this too is because when I thought about fighting vampires, right, and even in a magical world, a lot of times vampires specifically, because Strahd's a vampire, obviously, they have powers that can render, magic not as powerful or not as potent, useless altogether. And in those cases, it can help to be martial. So this gives all of you sort of somewhat of a martial capability. At the very least, the D12 is, not great, but it's not nothing either.
Yeah, for general unarmed strikes, it gives you a D nothing, basically. Your dice is only as high as your strength modifier.
Yeah, just your modifier.
Yeah.
It's bullshit, dude. You literally have to be a monk or you can't do any damage with it.
Oh, in this case,
or do this.
Exactly. Y'all learn how to be monks. For those of you who are the more peaceful, like more pacifist, are lawful good characters. We actually even have any of those, but are good in general characters. Maybe you could be monks instead if you rather, or a pugilist if that's what you prefer. A pacifistic pugilist. But with that, I'd say a nice feat to wrap up the session is not a terrible thing. You guys wait the arrival of the priest, I'm guessing? You guys kind of just chilling at the church?
Yeah, we got these kids we got to offload. We can't take them back on the road with us. Come on now.
Cool. No, that will give me
like children. Some people need to go to. We got to go to Barovia next, right?
Yeah, I think
unless we make those witches.
Barovia just landed on the list of places to go, probably before a Grinva's
priority list
at this point.
Yep.
So just for some reference for myself, vocally, you guys are at this point waiting for the priest and looking for a cure for this poor boy's withdrawal symptoms from the pies, as well as refuge for these children, and then perhaps headed to Barovia, and at some point a Grinvasolt, or Argon Vasolt, from the information you received from the hag.
Please
We'll
be
have-
prepared to repeat that name many
Yeah.
times for me.
I'll probably have to
Perhaps
repeat it every time I say it wrong. It's Argon Vustholt. I'll say it slower, probably, because my Chicago accent's not going to help either. But with that